Okay, you guys, look at what time it is. I'm doing this for y'all. Literally was just up editing and I was like, let me just film this video now. All right, you guys, cue the intro. Hey y'all, it's Brooklyn and I'm back once again with another YouTube video. So as you guys can tell from the title, I'm giving you guys a video that I'm actually very excited about. Hey, I'm going to be giving you guys an updated video on tips on starting a YouTube channel, growing your YouTube channel, things of that nature. A few of you guys have asked me about this on Instagram, TikTok, things of that nature, about the camera I use, tips on starting. It's like I want to start my channel, but I don't know where to begin. Not only that, but I also have a few friends that I know personally that are thinking about starting YouTube channels, and so I pray that this video will bless you guys. And yeah, I'm definitely excited to give you guys this video. I made a video 2 years ago. It's very outdated, and plus I was quite a youngin'. So for those of y'all who have not seen this face before, hi, my name is Brooklyn. I post content that talks about faith, school related videos, vlog, videos like these giving you guys tips and advice, videos that give y'all a glimpse of my life and what I like to do in my life. If you have not already, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 3,000 subscribers. Yes, you heard me correctly. Like, comment, and also turn on those post notifications. That way you guys will not miss out on any uploads. Also, do not forget to follow me on my socials, which are up here and down below as usual. So without further ado, let's get on started. Get on started. I feel like I'm slouching. Let me sit up. Alright, so I have some notes on my phone that I'm going to be reading off of just so that I won't get scatterbrained. Got a little bit of organization here, you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna split this into 3 parts. The first part I'm gonna be talking about filming, the second part I'm gonna be talking about editing, and the third and final part I'll be talking about growth and just some tips and advice. So let's get on started with this video. Alright, so the first part is filming. So when it comes to recording your videos, there are many devices that you can use to record videos. The first one that I have is a good old iPhone. Y'all, to be honest, I feel like nowadays people make you feel like you're less of a YouTuber or a content creator if you film your videos on your phone. First of all, let me tell y'all something. A lot of the most famous content creators on YouTube, Instagram, whatever, a lot of them have either started out with an iPhone or they still make their content with their phone and they have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So please do not let that discourage you. You know, don't let not having a camera discourage you from starting your YouTube channel, because at the end of the day, everybody starts somewhere. I know I talked about this in a few of my other videos in the past, but when I first started my channel, I had an iPhone 7. That little itty bitty 32 gigabyte iPhone 7. That's another thing that I'm gonna get into is storage, which I'm gonna talk about further in the video. If you have an iPhone that has a really bomb camera, by all means use that to start out. Later on, if you want to upgrade to a camera, then by all means do that. Like I said, please do not let anybody try to discourage you or make you feel less than, because again, everybody starts somewhere. As far as quality, make sure if you do film on an iPhone, these are the qualities that I recommend. 1080p at 30 frames per second, 1080p with 60 frames per second, and 4K with either 30 or 60 frames per second. Either one of those are really great. Quality definitely never misses. However, I will say, if you want to film with 4K, make sure your phone has enough storage to be able to handle recording with 4K quality, because 4K takes up a lot of space, takes up a lot of storage, and so you don't want to be filming and then halfway through the video your phone stops recording and it says that your storage is full.
Why?
That is the quickest way to piss anybody off. So yeah, make sure that you guys have enough storage on your phone to film in 4K. But if your phone doesn't have enough storage, next best thing is 1080p. 720p, sometimes it's okay, but sometimes, you know, it's not really the same, but that's my personal opinion. At the end of the day, it's up to you. Alright, so now I'm going to give you guys some cameras that are really great for filming and some really popular ones that most YouTubers use. First one, I feel like like a lot of people are familiar with this camera, and that is the Canon G7X Mark II. I've heard that the Mark III isn't as good as the Mark II, but hey, somebody can prove me wrong. I don't know. The Mark II is actually really good. I got the chance to test it out. I got to, you know, get a little taste of how it is, and the quality is amazing. However, the Canon G7X is a pretty penny. We're talking between $500 to $700. Listen, we understand that not everybody has $500, $700 to cough up. That's just how it is sometimes. And I feel like one of the reasons why it costs so much is because it depends on where you buy it from. If you buy the camera by itself, I think it's about $500, $600. But if you were to buy it off of Amazon, it would probably come up to about $700, $800, because most people buy the creator's bundle, which comes with the camera, the mini tripod, like the handheld tripod, things to clean your camera with, and just things of that nature. Me personally, I feel like all you really need is an SD card, the camera, and the tripod, and that's really all you need. But hey, do what you want to do. A lot of people feel like they have to have that particular camera in order to make successful content. Child, that is not true. There are two other alternative cameras that I know are pretty good in quality. One of them is the Canon SX740HS. That's actually the camera that I'm currently filming on. I have had no problems with this camera. I genuinely feel like it is one of the best alternatives to the Canon G7X, and not only that, but it's a much cheaper alternative. The quality that I usually film on is 1080p 30 frames. Sometimes I'll alternate between that and 60 frames per second. I would use 4K, however, I don't like the way that the camera like zooms up. The camera kind of zooms more up close and personal, especially when I'm trying to vlog. It's an ick for me, so I just stick to good old 1080p, and the quality is great in my opinion. I will say though, the Canon SX740HS is better in mostly lit settings. It's not the best in low light. It's okay, but it's not the greatest. It's not the best, but it's decent, you know what I mean. Another camera that I highly suggest is the Sony ZV-1. I've seen a lot of YouTubers use this camera as well. I feel like I'm slouching. I've seen a lot of YouTubers use this camera as well, and the quality is great. I feel like this camera is also a pretty penny. So it's kind of in the same price range as the G7X, but I still recommend it because from what I've seen on other creators' videos, it's definitely good quality content. So those are the three cameras that I suggest if you are willing to upgrade from an iPhone to a camera. So two pieces of advice that I have when it comes to filming. When it comes to vlogging, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll feel. When I started doing YouTube, like for real, I have actually been vlogging like way before that. Like I was vlogging and making like mini vlogs and stuff like that way like when I was in 4th grade, because that's when I started really making videos of my own. I wasn't posting them on nothing, but I would just make videos for the fun of it, and my sister and I would make vlogs all the time. At that time I was definitely, you know, confident in filming in public. I feel like a lot of people face, you know, the anxieties and the nervousness of filming in public because they feel like people are looking at them and things like that. Even now, like, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I have a little bit of anxiousness or nerves about filming in public or vlogging in public. A tip that I will add though when it comes to vlogging, if you want to be interactive and include people in your videos, make sure that you ask them, see if they're comfortable with being recorded or being on YouTube or on social media, because a lot of people aren't really comfortable with that. And so I feel like it's more respectful if you were to ask them nicely, like, hey, you know, you want to be in my YouTube video? Just letting you know it's going on YouTube, so if you don't want to be recorded, let me know. So that's another piece of advice that I will add. You know, the more you vlog in public, the more you record, the less nervous you'll feel and the more free and the more loose you'll feel. Because I definitely understand, you know, the feeling of, oh my gosh, people are staring, like they see me walking around with this big camera in my hand. Like, of course you might get some stares, but sometimes you just gotta zone it out and just continue to do you. The second piece of advice that I have is get an SD card with enough storage. I think the SD card that I have is 128 gigabytes, which, child, it's needed, because one thing I have learned while filming on my phone is 32 gigs is low-key not enough, and 64 gigs is low-key still not enough. You can buy more storage, which is a blessing, but I will say when it comes to filming on a camera, make sure that you have a SD card that has a good amount of storage on it, because again, you would hate to be filming and then your phone or camera just stops recording because you ran out of storage. Before I move on, I just want wanted to quickly show y'all, this is the tripod that I use for vlogging. I think I got it from Best Buy. I want to say Best Buy. You can literally get one from Five Below, Walmart, Target, buy any stores that have electronics. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. And now that we're done with the filming portion, we're gonna move on to the editing portion. Alright, so the devices that I recommend you edit your YouTube videos on, you can edit your videos on a MacBook. This thing is practically my baby. I edit all of my YouTube videos on my MacBook. It is honestly the best thing for me. Some people prefer on a phone, some people prefer on a computer. Either way, they both get the job done. But for me, I have definitely learned that editing on a computer is much more my rhythm. Not only that, but sometimes editing on an iPhone can take up a lot of your storage and it can overwhelm your phone. You can also edit your videos on an iPhone and an iPad. People edit their videos on an iPad, and I feel like an iPad would be the next best alternative if you don't have a MacBook, just because like editing on this little itty bitty thing, like I would much rather edit on a much larger device. Again, it's a preference thing, completely up to you. Some editing apps I highly recommend is good old iMovie. Y'all already know iMovie has been that girl since day one. iMovie is definitely a good starter editing app. You can edit with iMovie on iPhone, iPad, MacBook, iMac, any Apple product that you have. It's definitely efficient. I love it so much. It really gets the job done. The next app that I recommend that is pretty popular amongst the content creator community is Final Cut Pro. I will say you do have to pay for Final Cut Pro. iMovie is free. Final Cut Pro, you gotta spend a little coin on it, and it's not a cheap coin. We're talking, how much does Final Cut Pro cost? $300. You can pay for it for $300, or you can do a free trial. So at least they give y'all a free trial, because you know how Apple can be. Apple can be quite bougie sometimes, but we love her. We love Apple. Those two are the main apps that people use to edit their content with. I think that Final Cut Pro has a little bit more features than iMovie, but like I said, iMovie is good for getting your feet wet with editing and experimenting with like your editing style, what you like to do with your videos. So I feel like iMovie is definitely good for beginners. If you want to get something that's a little more intermediate or on the advanced level, you can definitely start with Final Cut Pro. Other apps that I recommend, and these apps you can use on an iPhone or iPad, is Cut Pro and Velo. Is VLLO. Didn't really use Velo a lot. I think I used it like once. Cut Pro was used for edits a lot, like the little Instagram edits that people used to make. I learned that people also edit their YouTube videos with it as well, and so that app is also really good. And there's plenty of tutorials for these apps if you are new and you're still kind of stuck. There are plenty of tutorials on YouTube. Also, for my iMovie users, I also made a video earlier this year on how I edit my YouTube videos. So if you want to check that video out, I will put a card up here so that way you guys can check it out. But yeah, those are two more apps that I recommend. When it comes to finding audios for videos, I definitely recommend using like YouTube to MP3 to download music, or you can export them from any apps that you might use, like Apple Music, Documents, stuff like that. I will say one tip that I highly advise y'all to do is pick audios that won't get your butt copyrighted, because copyright is annoying. I think that's every YouTuber's biggest ick. You could just be chilling and you go on YouTube Studio and you see that your video got copyrighted for a song, and it's just like, since when? Alright, I'm gonna let you have that. It's very important that you make sure that you're using audios or music that will not get you copyrighted. Okay, you guys, so that's all I have for the editing portion. So now we're gonna get into the growths and tips portion. The first piece of advice that I will say is post 1 to 2 times a week. Again, I say this all the time, but a lot of these YouTubers, when they make these types of videos, they'll tell you post 3 times a week, post 12 times a week. Let's be for real. Not everybody can post that frequently. Like, sometimes, you know, people have different obligations that need to be met in personal life. Sometimes people, you know, go through things. We're not always going to be able to post all the time throughout the week. But I will say it's important that you find your rhythm and find out what works for you. I can definitely say that posting 1 to 2 times a week is good for me. And I usually like to post, most of the time I post on the weekends. But if I am in the spot to post 3 times a week, I usually do like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Sometimes I'll do like Monday, Wednesday, and then Saturday, or Sunday, and then Tuesday, Tuesday, then Thursday. Like, I just do what I feel like I want to do. Pick a day out of the week and be like, all right, I'm gonna upload my videos on this day or these 2 days or where have you. What may work for somebody else may not work for you, and that's completely okay. My advice would be to post 1 to 2 times a week, but it's completely up to you. The next piece of advice that I have is be active on your other social media platforms. When you're not posting videos, make sure that you know you're being active on your Instagram, your Snapchat, TikTok, whatever other social media platforms you may have, really engaging with your followers. Or if your channel has unlocked the community feature, posting on there. So I just looked up how many subscribers you need to unlock the community feature, and according to Google, you need at least 500 subscribers. It's really cool, you know, to let your subscribers know what you're up to, as well as giving them updates about when new uploads are coming out. I usually like to do that. I'll go on the community feature and be like, hey, new video coming out on this day. Make sure you have your notification bell on. I definitely feel like being engaged with your followers is very important, and it can also allow them to spread the word about your channel, which leads me to my next point. Promote, promote, promote. Say you're starting your YouTube channel out, you're trying to spread word, you're trying to get the word out. Hit up some of your friends, let them know like, hey, I'm starting a YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe. And you might have some good friends who are willing to support you, and even some family. You know, when I started my YouTube channel, I was very blessed, you know, to have people to support me from the start, and I know that y'all will definitely get that support as well. So make sure you go on your Instagram, promote it, and be like, hey, subscribe to my YouTube channel, I have this video coming out. When you post new uploads, go to every social media platform you have and promote it. Promoting definitely will help your channel get the growth that it deserves. The next piece of advice that I have is write down your video ideas. I personally love this because I've said this in the past. If you're like me and you tend to get creator's block, you run out of video ideas, it's good to have a list to fall back on, so that when you run out of ideas, you're like, oh, I could do a what's on my iPhone video, I could do a day in the life vlog, I can do a Bible study video, whatever you want to do. So it's very cool to have those videos down. You can do it, you know, on your phone. I'm gonna show y'all, giving y'all a little visual aid or whatever. When you go to my reminders, I literally have a YouTube videos folder for my reminders, and so it definitely allows me to write them down, and then once I finish filming them, I check it off and then it goes away. And I love how it goes away because that way I won't be too overwhelmed or scatterbrained with, like, I feel like it gives it more organization. Definitely something I recommend. You can either write it down on your reminders or you can write it down on paper. Whatever works for you is totally fine. I highly suggest writing your videos down because it makes things 10 times more organized. Alright, so next piece of advice that I have is make sure you create nice thumbnails, channel banners, and intros. So I believe I have some videos that talk about how I make my intros and things of that nature. There are many ways you can make your intro, but I highly suggest finding your style and making intros that showcase who you are and show off your style and your way of editing and things like that. You tend to kind of see the same thing, and it's like you kind of want to make something that stands out. I highly suggest making eye-popping thumbnails, and you can also find tutorials about how to make your thumbnails and intros and channel banners and stuff like that, and to give them that appeal. I'm a firm believer that bomb intro, a bomb channel banner, a bomb profile picture, a bomb intro, all of that, it really intrigues the eye. Like, it intrigues your audience. You want to make sure that the look of your channel is polished. Thumbnails are key, because again, you could be scrolling and you see an eye-popping thumbnail and you're like, ooh, I want to watch that video. That's something that I highly emphasize because that's one of the first things people are going to see on your channel is the thumbnails. Alright, so the next piece of advice is extremely important. That is to stay true to your own style or aesthetic. I feel like no shade intended at all, but I feel like find ourselves seeing the same thing. Like, if you go on Instagram, you see the same style of content. Even YouTube, like, it's starting to seep into YouTube as well, and it's like, it's cute and all, it's cool, but you want to bring what you have to the table. You don't want to bring the same old. If you want to add, you know, pops of color, you want to add this, if you want to add that, by all means do it. I feel like the beauty of creating content is you can add your own style and charisma to it. If we all made the same type of content the same way, YouTube would be mad boring. I guess I can say one pro of social media is that you can see so many different styles and so many different ways that people make their content. Just stay true to yourself, stay true to the content that you want to make and the style that you want to make it as. Don't compare yourself to how other people's stuff looks and things like that, because comparison truly kills. I know it sounds cliche, but genuinely be yourself. Do what you want to do with your content. Make it how you want to make it, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live with it. You're the one that is putting your blood, sweat, and tears into making this content. You're the one that is spending time filming these videos, editing these videos, uploading them, making the thumbnails for them. You're the one building your brand. It's your channel, it's your content, it's what you make of it. On social media, it's very easy to lose sight of your authenticity. I definitely wanted to highlight that in this video as well. And last but certainly not least, have fun. Like, YouTube is genuinely fun. Yes, it can be stressful sometimes. Yes, it can be draining. It can be exhausting. But I genuinely feel like YouTube is so much fun. Like, I genuinely love editing, filming, sitting in front of a camera and talking. I know it might look crazy, but listen, looking crazy has gotten me to where I am today. So not only that, but you get to do it with people you love. Like, if you have people who make content or just want to be in your videos and interact with you, that is literally so much fun to me. And spreading your light and spreading love and positivity is definitely something that can be a blessing for other people. Especially, you know, what I do, I talk about Jesus, I talk about positivity, I try to bring the light. Not only do I talk about my faith in Jesus, but I also just bring smiles to people's faces, because that's genuinely what it's all about. Spreading the good news of Christ, but also bringing light to people. I feel like another piece of advice that I will say is find your why, find your purpose for doing what you do. I don't know why I didn't add this. Do not burn yourself out. I have seen so many YouTubers, including myself, get burnt out and they lose motivation and they find themselves stressed and tired and screaming and crying and throwing up. Do not be one of those people. If you find yourself exhausted, get the rest that you need. If you got to take a break from socials, by all means do it. Social media ain't going nowhere. Spend that time, you know, recuperating if you find yourself getting stressed or tired. Please have fun, but do not burn yourself out. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, do not forget to hit that subscribe button. I pray that this video has been a blessing for you. I pray that y'all have learned something or have gotten something out of this. I pray nothing but the best for you guys starting YouTube channels or wanting to grow your YouTube channel. You got this, you know, we in this together. Let's support one another, you know what I mean? Like I said, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, like, comment, subscribe. Also, do not forget to follow me on my socials, which are up here and down below as usual. God bless you guys. I love y'all so much, and I will see you next time. Mwah, bye.